Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Caveopolis. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a fantastic day. We are getting relatively close, at least in theory, to the end of the pack, and it all starts with this everything combiner, which is basically made using all of the various machines from custom machinery. I did go ahead and craft those off camera between episodes. But what this thing does is it allows you to create various things by combining lots of other things. So for example, these color crystals are made using all of the different colored stones, as well as prismarine and diamond. You got dragon heads to make dragon's breath, or combined with dragon's breath to make dragon core, like, etc. You can see these recipes are a little crazy. Some of them are a lot easier than others, like just the ingots. This one looks really tough, but it's actually not that bad, because usually when you make ingots, you're making a bunch of them at once anyway. So this one isn't actually that terrible. And then here we've got, like, the basalts one is actually going to be kind of annoying. I didn't notice that. But anyway, that's the first thing that we need to make use of. We need to make each of the various shards or cores or whatever from this everything combiner. And it does use, I believe, a fairly, it uses a lot of power. 20,000 RF per tick, 25,000 RF per tick. That's a lot. But we do have the power to support it, so shouldn't actually end up being an issue. Just got to figure out where we're actually going to put it. That is the question. We also need to figure out how many of these we're going to need, because it's, I'm wondering if it's worth it to actually automate this entirely. So to make a spacesuit upgrade, we need 2 of each. And to make the spacesuit, okay, this actually isn't that bad. To make the various spacesuit bits, you just, okay, so we're gonna need what, 4 of these? Yeah, 4 of these spacesuit upgrades, which means we're gonna need to make 8. Oh, and then we need space portals, 10 frames to make a portal. Okay, so we need 4 for this, and then we need 40 to make the space portal, and then the space core used to open the portal, I guess. I guess that's what you click the portal with, and that's just 1? Yeah. Oh, but you need another space. Oh, okay, so we need, what, 45 of these spacesuit upgrades? So we'll need to do the recipe 90 times for each thing. That's really not that bad. Like, I don't know if that's worth automating. That's less than 2 stacks for each one. I don't think that's worth automating, to be honest. Because you could automate it with applied energistics, although with all the cyan, these require 16 per. I'll have to think about this a little bit. But first things first, we should probably make a spot for this, and I guess we will put it, I want it to be close to our ME system, I think, because that probably makes the most sense. Although we could just use ender chests to transport any goods. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We'll just, I'll put it over here somewhere, and then we'll use ender chests to actually transport stuff around. I think that's a little bit smarter. And this is actually probably going to be the last machine we need, so maybe I'll just put it in this little kind of nook right over here. Just kind of this little bit. We'll just put it right here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Okay, so let me get some setup done here so that I can get this all sort of situated. And then we will get started. Also, the other thing I should probably do is take this hardened glass and kill the wither a few times, because that's another thing we need to do to complete everything as well. And with hardened glass, killing the wither is super easy, because you can just trap the wither inside the hardened glass, which is witherproof. So, yeah, lots to do. All right, my friends, I've gone ahead here and made just a little wither cage, which I think should work. If we do this, we make the wither essentially upside down. No, it still works. Okay, we're good. And then we need to fill that in real quick so he can't kill us. But just give him a sec. Stand over here. There we go. And since he can't break the hardened glass, he just kind of chills in here. He can't break any of the stones. Perfectly safe way to kill the Wither and get our Wither Nether Star. So that's lovely. We could also do the trick in the end, since we have access to the end now. We could just go in the under the end and kill him that way. But this is maybe a little bit more convenient since it's, you know, right next to our base. I would very much like to get that experience piece. I guess I'll just do it this way. But yeah, that worked out pretty well. So there we go. That's how we get Nether Stars. We've got our experience, and I'll just put that there for the moment. But yeah, I did it a little bit of ways from the base, not super far. And now that completes this guy right here, and then we can use that Nether Star in a in the Energizer thing from Paua at the cost of 20 million RF, which is a lot. But that will allow us to complete those quests as well, which is great. Also, by the way, for anyone who is curious, the Nether does not exist in this mod pack. If you try to light this, it doesn't light the portal. So yeah, just an interesting little side note. So a little bit of a progress update. I'm over back towards near the old base. It's like right up the stairs there. And this is kind of my like makeshift mob farm. I've just got a big dark room here. The reason I'm here is because you get basils spawning here. They spawn in here, and we need those for the shard. We need basals shards. And other than actually just killing them directly, the only way to get them is via the loot fabricator. So I'm trying to make a model so that we can do that. Unfortunately, I have not actually seen a single one yet. So it's kind of slow going, but you know what? It's fine. In the meantime, though, I'm working on some of my other models. My witch one, for example. It's killing I really don't want to smack the Enderman on accident, but yeah, I mean, it's going to take a while, but it'll get the job done eventually. Okay, my friends, it is time to make the first thing in the everything combiner. I decided to just put it over here. The ender chest setup thing wasn't really working out so well. So, let's just see if this does it automatically. If it puts everything in the right spot, it appears to. There we go. Okay. And then we should be able to take all this stuff out. And it will do its thing. And after a little bit, there we go. We have our first color crystal, which is down here. There we go. This guy is all done. So now we need a dragon core, an ultimate shard, and an ingot of ingots. Next one up on the list is the dragon core, which is pretty easy. It's just 8 dragon heads on each side, and then a little bit of dragon's breath in the middle, just like so, and that will make the dragon core. This thing right here, the dragon heads are actually really easy to make. You just throw a wither skeleton skull into the dragon infuser and it'll spit them out. So this one's not too bad. There we go. That gets us our dragon core. So now we're good on that. And I think the next thing here is going to be the shard one, the ultimate shard. This one's a little bit annoying, especially the basalt shards. Yeah, that part's going to be a little rough. The good news is that I did kill enough basalzi? The plural form of basals, whatever that is. I did kill enough of these guys that I do have at least a basic model. So I don't actually have to kill them myself, which is great. We can just toss that in here with some of these prediction matrices, or matrices. The downside is that a basic model only has a 5% chance to output the thing that actually generates you the loot. So, yeah. And on top of that, it will increase a tiny amount each time, but it's going to take 48 cycles, I guess you would say, for this to upgrade to the next level. So this could take a bit. Although, actually, I didn't realize this. I actually have 18 basalt shards. I must have gotten them while I was killing the basalts to get this data model. Now, obviously, this is only going to be enough for a single shard, but it's something. I mean, it's a good step. So we need, let's see here, 8 of each of these. So will that work? Nope. Got to do it this way. Okay, there we go. So there's our basalt shards. Did they just stay in there? Good. They do. And then we need 8, or I think we need 16 amethyst shards, like so. I think the recipe is mirrored, right? Yeah, it's a mirrored recipe. Okay, and then we need 8 prismarine shards, like so. So now all we're missing is the obsidian shards and the bedrock fragments, and then the dimensional shards. How do I get these? Okay, so I can just throw some prismarine shards into a soul forge. Or we can craft them this way, but I think the soul forge is going to be just simpler. So, yeah, okay. So we need 8 of those, and then we need the obsidian shard, which is obsidian in an eroder. And I do have plenty of obsidian, because once you make it to the end, it's pretty easy to get a great deal of obsidian. You just basically loot the pillars. You just essentially chop down the pillars, and it'll give you just tons of obsidian. So I'll make, how many of these do we need? 1 stack should be plenty. That should be more than enough. And then we need the prismarine. Here we go. We need some of these. And it was, yeah, okay. So just 8 of these in the soul forge. That should give it to us. Okay, so should be good. We've got some bedrock fragments. We've got some obsidian shards. We just need to toss these in. Looks like these ones go... Oh. Is it? Oh, I guess it's... I see. So like this. And then those ones go there. And there we go. That should give us the ultimate shard thing, I believe. Obviously, this does take a little bit. It takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of power, but that's fine. There we go. We now have the ultimate shard, and now all that's left is the ingot of ingots, which requires, I believe, 4 of every ingot in the game. I think it's every ingot. If it's not every ingot, it's almost every ingot. But anyway, we'll just toss these into here. And I guess I'll just kind of start grabbing ingots. We should have... maybe not every ingot here, but we should be pretty close. Let's just go through our list. We'll grab all the ingots we do have. That might not be all of them, but it should be very close. And since they can only go in one spot, it should give us a pretty good idea of what we are missing here. So let's see. We are missing this one, and this one. Which... ingot of ingots. So we are missing glowstone, rose gold, and refined obsidian. Okay, and also we need to make more invar, but that's easy. Everything else we have. Okay, so refined glowstone is in an osmium compressor. This is something I do not have created yet. Is there a different way? No, I think this is it. So we need I need to make an osmium compressor for that. Okay. What about rose gold? This can be made. Looks like you have to make rose gold blend first. Okay, maybe not. How do you make this? Okay, here we go. Copper and gold. Okay, that's super easy then. And then last but not least, we need refined obsidian, which again is an osmium compressor with refined obsidian dust. Okay, so if we make the osmium compressor, we should be good. That doesn't seem overly complicated, and the recipe here isn't too bad. Okay, so we got the osmium compressor here. We can just toss this guy down, get it power easily enough. And now we need to use it to make our last two ingots, which are the refined glowstone and the refined obsidian. And it's basically the same process for both. You just take either glowstone for the refined glowstone or refined obsidian, which I believe is made with, yeah, obsidian shards and diamond dust. And we actually do have quite a bit of that at the moment. So let's just grab some of this stuff. And I think, I can't remember if I can just put a diamond in here. Yes, I 100% can. So we can go like that, toss these in, and that will give us a decent amount of refined obsidian dust, enough for our purposes here. So then what we do is we put in 4 of those, and I'm not sure. Looks like it's going to take a couple of ingots. Looks like 5 should do it. So like it takes like just a little bit more than 1 ingot to make 1 refined glowstone dust, is what it's looking like to me, which is perfectly fine. We'll have plenty. So this won't be an issue. Then I just got to do the same thing with the obsidian dust, and that will make the refined obsidian ingots, which also, as just a side note, is the best material for making armor and stuff in the game as well. It is very, very, very durable. It has much higher damage resistance and damage output than even netherite. So super good stuff. Okay, there we go. We have our refined obsidian and our refined glowstone. Now, all of that stuff gets combined into one to give us our ultimate thing in just a moment, of course, to give us the ingot of ingots, the final piece of this chapter, and then all that's left is space. And you know what? I'm going to be entirely honest. To do this stuff is basically just, it's just a lot of grind. And I've been trying to, like, motivate myself to do this episode for, like, a while. And it's been a struggle, because if you look at these, you need so many of all of these different things. At first I was like, oh, it's not so bad. But then I realized that, like, I need about a stack and a half of each of those materials that we just made. And each of those materials that we just made requires, like, 8 of most resources. Like, you need 16 dragon heads to make those, to make, like, a single, or to make the dragon cores, for example. And just the processing time on that is like a little, it adds up really quick. And the thing is, you can't speed up some of these slower machines from custom machinery. Like, you can't speed up the Soul Forge. There's no upgrade for it. So the only way to make to speed it up, air quotes, is to make a bunch more of them. And, like, I just don't feel like doing that. So I think I'm just going to end the pack here. I mean, we basically made our way through the whole thing. The only thing we didn't do is the super grindy stuff at the end that essentially just involves waiting around to accumulate more of the resources that we already have, so that we can then have lots of them. Like, all that's left at the end is basically just a time sink. And I don't really find that fun, so I'm not going to do it. So there. You can't make me. But I think I'm going to wrap up the pack here. It was a super fun pack, honestly. Really interesting, really unique. I enjoyed it a great deal. I am deciding if I want to do Stone Block 3, which just came out as kind of our replacement for this series. The thing is, it's very similar to this. Like, it's different for sure. But it's also kind of the same. Like, it's the same basic concept. You're underground, stone, all that kind of stuff. It's just a different way of going about things. So I don't know. I have some thinking to do. But long story short, I am wrapping up this episode and this series right here. So my friends, I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.